that you get these warm-ups. These warm-ups are also going to be a larger part of our folder checks this 9 weeks. So please make sure that if I write it down, that you write it down. Okay, that's really important. Okay, let's get started on this. It says the perimeter of a rectangle is 56 inches. Guys, if you're dealing with perimeter and they give you a shape and they do not have the picture drawn there, the first thing you need to do is draw the picture there. Start with that. Perimeter equals 56 inches. It says its length is 6 times the width. What is the length and what is the width? And it gives you this weird format. It wants you to give the length and width as an ordered pair, where you put the length in the first spot and the width in the second spot. Okay? They're calling the length L, so L equals the length. They are calling the width W, so W equals width. And guys, remember in a rectangle there are 2 lengths and 2 widths. So the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And what is the perimeter of this shape? 56. Perfect. Okay, we need another equation to get this system of equations done. So we have to read the words in the problem. Its length is. Guys, the length is. How do you write that in an equation? Length is. Just L equals. The length is, length equals, 6 times the width would just be 6W. Now, you can solve systems of equations 2 ways. You can solve it by substitution or by elimination. This one is already set up to solve by substitution because it says L equals. So we put a box around that. We are going to plug it into the L in this problem. So we're going to replace the L with the 6W. 2 times 6W plus 2W equals 56. Guys, what's 2 times 6W? 12W plus 2W equals 56. These are like terms. We can combine these. We put them together. Guys, you're writing this down because I'm writing this down. Because this is going to be on your folder check, and this is your EOC problems. I'm telling you. So, 12W plus 2W is going to give you 14W equals 56. Grab your calculators, guys. Divide both sides by 14. W equals, what's 56 divided by 14?
4.
Just even? 4? Okay, perfect. So our width is 4. Guys, which spot does the width go in? First spot or second spot? Look. Second. It says W is in the second spot. The 4 goes right there. I don't know why they wanted you to put the answer like this, but that's how they asked for the answer to be. You've got to do whatever it asks for. Okay, I've got W equals 4. I'm going to plug it back into the box. Length equals 6 times whatever the width is. In this case, the width is 4. So the length is 24. The 24 goes right here because it says length goes first, width goes second. Okay, questions, concerns, anything about that system of equations? Guys, if you see geometry, think about systems of equations. We had a lot of problems that were systems of equations that were geometry based. A lot of them. Okay, we're going to go across instead of down. The next one says Carson needs an electrician to come out and check on her smoke detectors. I'll get these words to work. The electrician charges $70 for the house visit and $50 per hour for labor. Find the total cost of an hour and 3/4 worth of work. Guys, starting off with, you need to write the equation. So we're talking about the total cost, so we'll call that T. You can call it anything you want to. You could call it C, you could call it X, you can call it anything you want to. T for total cost. And that's equal to, guys, how much do they charge just to show up? $70. That's for their time to get there, to show up, for their fuel, to have the equipment. That's $70. Plus, you have to charge how much per hour? So do we do 50 what? What do you want to call the hours? H. Thank you. That's easy. H. Okay. There's your equation. Now we need to actually plug into that equation. So the number of hours is 1 3/4. So we're going to put it in here as 1 3/4. Then we're going to talk about the fact that this is money and you would never leave it in terms of this. So we're going to talk about how to put your decimal answer. So grab your calculators because we need to type this on the calculator and see if we can get an answer. Okay, here we go. So it would be 70 plus 50 times 1 fraction button 3 fraction button 4 equals. Now, what does it say on the calculator? It's probably going to be a mixed number. And 1/2? Okay, so you need to turn that into a decimal. To turn it into a decimal, you're going to hit the second key, and then you're going to hit the arrow at the very bottom. I think it points to the left. Second and then arrow. That should give you a decimal form of this. What is the decimal of this? 0.5. Okay, now money, guys, you would never leave one number after the decimal place when you're dealing with money. Either it has no decimals or at all, or it has 2 decimals. It's money. So it'd be $157.50. Right. Did you know that in other states, we do it on gas, but in other states that every item they do actually has like a 3rd and 4th place for the things you buy? We found that out in Arizona this past week. Like if they charge you 50 cents or something, they're really charging you 50.6 cents, and that it adds up as you use things. It's really odd. So they get more money than they tell you. If it says 50 cents, it could be 50.5 cents or 50.6 or 50.7, or so they actually charge you more than they list because you can only list 2 numbers. It's really odd. It's really strange. Okay, guys, here we go. We do it here on gas. If you didn't know that, you know it's like $1.99. Well, not 1 anymore. It's like $4.99, but it's really $4.99, and then it's got 99 after that. It actually charges you even more than 99 cents. Okay, guys, here we go. We've gotten caught by this before. So the class is taking a trip to the zoo. They get a deal, and for every 4 tickets, they get an extra ticket. So when they pay for 4 tickets, how many tickets do they actually get? 5. So 5 tickets is going to cost you how much? 86. So here we go. This is the number of tickets. This is the money. So on the other side of our proportion, which we've seen a lot of, it tells you that the total purchase price of the tickets is $17.20. Where do I put that $17.20 at? Bottom, because that's where the money is. And we don't know how many tickets, so we put a variable. Any variable you want. How do you solve a proportion? Cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply the 5 times the 1720. Multiply that. Tell me what you get. 8,600 equals, oh, well, that's easy numbers. 86x. Then we're going to divide both sides by 86. What's 8,600 divided by 86? 100. Because it goes in there one time with the 2 zeros left over. So x equals 100. So how many total tickets do they receive? Now, the way you write your answer is going to be different depending on the type of question. If it's just multiple choice, you'll pick it. If it's type it in a box where you have just like the little digits where you can only type 100, you would type 100. If you can write a sentence answer because they give you this big box and say type your answer, then you're going to write that they have, what does it say, how many total? They received, I'll get the word to write. They received 100 tickets. Okay. You've got to answer the question that they ask you. If they give you room to type, you're going to type what you actually got. They received 100 tickets. Questions, concerns, anything about it before we move on? Okay, last one. Franz owns a bakery. And it says that she's making cakes for a party. She normally uses 12 eggs for every 4 cakes. Guys, there's a relationship. Eggs to cakes. Okay, we got 12 eggs and 4 cakes. This is the eggs. This is the cakes. On the other side, they want to know how many eggs for 20 cakes. So where does the 20 go? Bottom, because that's where the cakes are. We don't know how many eggs, so we put an X here. To solve any proportion, we cross multiply. So what's 20 times 12? 240 equals, when we do 4 times x, it's just going to be 4x. Divide both sides by 4. 60 equals x. Again, depending on what kind of answer it is, do you just put the 60 in the little box? Do you just pick 60 on the choice, A, B, C, D? If you have to write a sentence, it's how many eggs she will need? 60 eggs for 20 cakes. Okay, it just depends on what kind of question it is. If all you can do is put the number in there, 60, then that's all you can do. Okay, guys, that's your warm-up for today. Does anybody have any questions?